Martini Studios in Ontario, California, it's the Foobar Show!
What's up, everyone? I am Josie.
And I'm Josh.
And Steph.
Thank you all very much for listening to the Foobar Show. Thanks for hitting subscribe and remember to rate, review, and tell your friends like a champ. You can always hit this at Foobar Show. That's FWBarshow.com. And FWBar Show is your handle on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram. Check us out. Drop us a line, and we'll foo it up like a couple of foos. Ain't that right, Foos?
Yep.
Seafood.
All right. Well, on today, on tap, a little later on in the episode, we'll have Rowan and Synden. They are from the band Aelish, and they have some cool tracks that we're going to be playing on the show. Pretty excited to have them on. But first, we wanted to talk about what's going on in our lives, but most importantly, what's going on in the Joint Report. You guys want to go ahead and just jump on into it?
Let's jump on in.
Yes,
Right
sir.
on. Here we go.
Are you on weed? Give me some. I'll smoke you two under the table.
Well, guys, I don't know if you've ever had a weed hangover. Josh, have you had a weed hangover ever?
If I have edibles, I do.
What are the symptoms that you've gotten when you've gotten said weed hangover?
Well, I don't know if you can, consider it a hangover per se, but usually what I feel is I still feel like that fuzzy feeling like I'm high.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly like, in the sinuses area, like I feel like that, and a slightly sluggish, no
cloudy?
headaches or anything like that, but it's still like fuzzy, so to speak,
Like you're still high?
Yeah, I probably am still high, I'm that may be it too.
Leafly.com describes a weed hangover as somebody, when you wake up with that cloudy feeling, a little bit of a headache. Back in the day when weed wasn't what it is today, and I used to get it probably when I was maybe 17, 18 years old, I know that I would find a lot of seeds and stems in the weed. Nowadays, you get a nice poofy little nug. But that wasn't always the case. Usually it was weighed down by a lot of seeds and stems, which is bullshit. But that's how things used to happen. But when you would, one of the things that you hated was when you would pack a bowl, overlook what went into said bowl, and you started hearing like crackle, like you're freaking eating Rice Krispies but smoking weed, and whenever you would hear a pop, it's because you just smoked the seed and prepare for a terrible freaking headache in a couple of hours.
That does not sound comfortable at all.
No, and it's not. And the smoke that comes out of that seed is not appealing either. It's gross.
It just the taste that you get from that, it's just so bad. It's like I equate it to if you were having popcorn and you happen to pick up one that just has the full kernel and you bite into it. That's like the equivalent to getting a seed in your fucking weed. You just get that full kernel. It's just like,
It's like you just put on the brakes. Like, ow.
Yeah, like record scratching. It's just like, no, it's all bad.
My God.
Yeah, it's gross. But when they refer to the weed hangover in this article, they are referring to the after effects of going to sleep and then waking up still with some symptoms, and some of those symptoms are headache, the cloudy brain, sluggish, pretty much everything you just described. And what they're saying, and it happens to enough people where it's become a conversation. Not a lot of it has been researched, and some of the research that has come out of this has been kind of half-assed, and the sample sizes are small. They're only using men. Maybe men are the only ones who are down to actually participate in the researches, but there isn't enough to say that this is an actual legitimate thing. A lot of the times when you are smoking weed, especially in high amounts, you forget to eat healthy. You forget to drink a lot of water. So maybe because of those things, when you're taking in copious amounts of THC and marijuana that make you forget things, it could be a result of those things. Maybe a correlation isn't causation. So we shouldn't say that weed itself is what's causing these symptoms. But the fact that you forget to continue to live healthy throughout your 6 hours of being stoned off your mind might be what is doing it. But regardless, Some of the suggestions that they bring up, if you ever find yourself in this kind of situation, is to keep moving, get moving. Because if you're going to work, staring at a screen all day isn't going to help, and you should start your day with a brisk walk, or at least, just get moving, move around. That'll get the heart pumping and all that good stuff. When you get ready to go to start your day, take a cool shower. The refreshing water should wake up your senses. It usually does.
Hold on. Whoa. I'm not a fucking psychopath, okay? I'm not taking a goddamn cold shower before I get up in the goddamn morning.
Ice bath.
It'll wake you up, man. It'll wake you up.
Yeah, I know, but I gotta be a goddamn psychopath to do that every day.
Well, any day that you have a weed hangover.
Again.
Okay.
Every day.
Ugh.
Number 3, and you probably won't agree with this either, adjust your eating habits, Josh. Make sure you eat healthy food and stay hydrated throughout the day to nourish your body. And then we can all agree with this last one is try caffeine, because caffeine is a solution to a lot of things, especially this one where it'll try to wake you up. It'll give you that extra boost. A stimulant such as caffeine can give a foggy brain the jump start it needs.
I concur with all of that. Like, in fact, on days like when I'm at work and I do feel, sluggish, I do immediately go out to the warehouse and I'll just start stretching. I usually stretch for like 15 minutes before I start actually working in the warehouse. And then I'll start like lifting boxes and stuff just to wake my ass up, because that sluggish part, and if you have to just sit in front of a fucking computer screen for like at least 3 or 4 hours before doing any physical activity, it's terrible, because you just want to fall asleep. You're not really focused all that well. So yeah, listen to Josie as far as the eating right, drinking a lot of water. Definitely drink a lot of water. And caffeine helps tremendously. If you're not a coffee person, then
black tea will do it. Yep.
Yeah, hot tea will do it. Or
some Earl Grey.
Those Mio energy drinks, that works too. Like, that's what I usually do if I don't want any coffee for the day.
You know what you need to get yourself is a standing desk. I'm telling you, it's the wave of the future. Standing desk.
I do need one of those. That would be fantastic if I had one of those.
Wouldn't hurt.
So if you're looking for a way to spend your stimulus check, invest in a standing desk.
Yeah, that's one way to do it. I mean, and then, pay your bills.
Hold on,
also
Steph.
that.
Are you getting a commission from Standing Desk for selling it?
No.
I'm watching you.
Now, some people would argue that smoking weed dehydrates you, and the only thing that they have to support that is that it gives you the cotton mouth. But that's not the case. It's not, it doesn't dehydrate you. It's the lack of drinking fluids while you get high that dehydrates you. So, just make sure that everybody stays hydrated so that you don't feel like shit hours later or even overnight if you just end up knocking out. So, that's all I got on my end. But I know that, Steph, you had something that you wanted to talk about. We posted it on Instagram on Saturday, right? You're doing a research project.
I am doing some independent research. I want to see what the community knows as far as CBD versus THC, and if there's going to be a need for more CBD education. So if we find out that there is, then hopefully I can work to provide some of that educational material to the general public. I've always wanted to do my independent research. Why not do it while stuck in quarantine? Got plenty of time. So I've been working on it for the last few weeks doing some literature review and have finalized my survey and now published it for participants to take.
Yeah, everybody can go to foobarshow.com, our website. There's a button as soon as you log on to our website. Just click on the button. It's a simple 10-question survey. You can get through it in probably less than a minute.
Yeah, just boom, boom, boom. That's it. Done.
And it'll help Steph gather some important data regarding the education behind CBD, right? And CBD products.
Yeah, just general information. Like, do you know more about THC versus CBD? Do you want more information? Is this even relevant to you? Pretty simple, straightforward.
Because some of the things that I've been noticing is that, when you talk to an old school doctor, maybe a doctor that's well into his 60s, maybe 70s, they know little to nothing about THC, CBD, their differences, how they impact the body, because it's been kind of taboo in American culture, or actually world culture, since forever, really, ever since it was outlawed in all these countries and considered a Schedule 1 drug, which it's bullshit. It shouldn't be. Now, when you talk to the younger doctors, they will still tell you that they are not teaching these classes in abundance in in whatever university they go to get their doctorates, but they've been learning about THC, CBD, their impacts on the body because of whatever's on the internet. It's a lot of anecdotal information that they've been getting, but also now with some states legalizing it and some parts of some countries around the world legalizing it, there's actually now some peer-reviewed journals that are coming out that are giving us more insight of how this plant impacts the body positively and negatively. I mean, we should know everything about this plant that big corporations and things have been shitting on for decades now. But I think it could be very beneficial for anybody to know more about it, because I know that right now CBD is kind of seen as a cure-all, and that's really not the way it should be seen. There's specific reasons why somebody should be taking CBD, THC. It's not going to kill you, but I mean, to make the best out of your time, to make it worth it, I think we should know more about it. And Steph's research should at least help how we get that information out to people more effectively.
Right. When I was doing most of my research, there is an academic journal, the Journal of Cannabis, and most of the professional and academic research on cannabis are like from a molecular chemical standpoint. Mm-hmm. It's not for the general public. Like, so how do you disseminate that information to the general public? Like, what do people need to know?
And make it interesting at the same time.
Disseminate main.
Release to? Distribute?
Mm-hmm.
Hand out?
Carry on.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, that would help us get pointed in the right direction, at least. So then you got to start at the basics.
Yep, I agree.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
All right. Is that going to do it, Steph?
That's it.
All right. Well, everybody go check out foobarshow.com. We have that button right there. You can't miss it. It's right up at the top. Take that survey. It'll help Steph out a lot in her research.
Yes, please.
And hopefully this will turn into something. Cool.
Smoke weed every day.
All right, up next, we're going to have Aelish on. We're going to do the music highlights and then geek out. So hopefully we have some cool things to talk about. You guys ready?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, and as promised, we have Aelish on the show. What's happening, girls?
Hey.
Nothing much. We're in
Good.
quarantine.
How
Yeah,
about
no
you?
kidding. Not a goddamn thing, right?
That is a nice
How
looking
you
quilt,
guys?
by the way.
Oh, the quilt?
That is a nice
yes.
quilt.
My tapestry. Thank you for noticing.
Is that? Did you make that
very
yourselves? Everybody who's watching this
gosh.
on the video.
I absolutely hand sewed it myself. No, I did not. I
At the
wish.
beginning of quarantine?
Oh, yeah. It's been my
That's your
quarantine
project.
quilt.
Quarantine project.
Corn quilt.
One piece every day.
Pouring quilts. There it is.
Well,
I should pick up the hobby though.
thanks for joining us on a Sunday morning. This is going to air Monday, but yeah, we're waking. I mean, I don't even know what time it is these days anymore. Most of the time.
Yes, time is a construct.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
No,
All
absolutely.
blurred in.
I caught wind of you when I checked out your video. It came up on my feed or at least I think a snippet of it on Instagram. And
Right.
and then I went in and checked out the whole video, and goddamn, I was impressed, man. It looks
you.
it looks really good. And I wanted to ask you everything about that video, and that's the video for your new song "Weep" that we'll be playing in just a little bit. But tell us a little bit about that video. Like, where'd you shoot it? It was a really cool room, with the backlighting and everything.
Yeah. So we had a couple of different locations. So The bit where you see us performing, there's a really fantastic studio in downtown LA. Is it called like FH Studios or something?
They've got a bunch of different
they offer really great like photography. You've probably heard of them, like photography and video rooms. And we just set up shop there, and the crew is just a bunch of our friends, and they're fantastic people. And our cinematographer had a fantastic camera, so we're very lucky. And then other than that, it was like all Hollywood shots with our actress Stephanie, the skater. Yeah. So,
I was gonna ask you, like, so she's just a friend of yours, right? She's not in the band.
She's not in the band, no.
Okay.
She's featured on the cover of the single as well. She's just a really cool person, and we met her through one of our friends, and we had this concept for the video, and we just like went up to her because we saw her when we met her. We're like, she would be perfect for this. And I just went up to her, and we happened to be out at a club dancing at the time. I was like, hey, do you roller skate? And then she was like, yeah, how did you know? And I was like, do you want to be in a music video? And then that was the rest.
Shout your job audition.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, she has a lot of cool energy in the video, like free spirit. The skates were a nice touch. Who came? What was it? So it was you guys that came up with the concept of her just kind of rolling all around Hollywood and that kind of thing.
Yeah, we came up with the concept, and like Rowan said, the people who helped us film were a bunch of friends, and one thing just kind of happened to another. They called up another person, and they're all film grads and stuff, and so they knew what they were doing in that regard. So they helped us kind of fine tune the plot a little bit, but. Yeah, we just wanted something that's like skates seems to embody like that kind of carefree, I'm leaving the baggage behind kind of a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the song itself, "Weep," I took away a couple of things from it. You know, for you, I don't weep. You know, is it pretty much just giving the finger to somebody that you used to love? Is that pretty much what it is?
Yeah, I mean, I wrote that song about somebody in particular, but I would say that it's about a couple of people who I'm speaking to in that song. And I think, I mean, it's definitely angry, and I'm definitely, as you said, kind of giving the finger. But at the same time, I think a lot of it is about self-worth and kind of being like, hey, you know, I don't deserve this. I deserve better. And that's kind of why we wanted to have somebody like Stephanie, because she kind of is that type of person in real life, just very like beautiful energy. So we wanted that face, you know, we wanted somebody who kind of made you feel good as you watched it. Because I think that's the ultimate, you know, message in the song is anger, but also like, hey, you know what? Fuck this. I deserve better. So
Right on. Well, that's it's a catchy tune, man. I found myself listening to it quite a bit the last few days. Ever since I discovered it, it's right on my playlist. So.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. Now, you in your bio, you identify yourselves with a lot of the old school rock and rollers. You know, your Fleetwood Macs and Jefferson Airplane, all that cool stuff, and I see that come through in your vocals. You know, and if you don't mind me saying, when I was listening to your EP, it really, I don't know how else to describe it, but a female Eddie Vedder.
Thank you.
Are you a fan of Pearl Jam? A little bit.
Yeah, huge Pearl Jam fans. When we recorded that EP, we'd had a huge Pearl Jam phase, and then that was our first EP we released, right? So that was kind of. Pearl Jam is one of our bigger influences, so I think that's what came out of us as our first child.
We kind of look at that EP fondly because there's been a bit of a departure sonically from that. It's still like the same kind of sound, but it's the new album that's coming out is, I think, going to sound a lot different. But there was a lot of Pearl Jam influence.
A lot of production, though, that in the new stuff, I take it?
Yeah, more production. I mean, we recorded the first EP, not to denigrate it, but just in a garage. We had a shoestring budget, and it was a great experience in that way. But this one we took a little bit more time with, and more production.
Yeah.
Are there certain tracks in that first EP that you would consider re-recording now, knowing what you know about production and the resources you have now?
Now that we have a budget a little bit more.
I think so. I mean, people tend to like Broadcast Corruption, which is the name of the EP, and I would say that song, it deserves some love, and I mean, all of them do. They're all worthy. Dirt is the third track on the EP, and that one is probably one of our oldest songs, and it kind of shows a little bit more of our bluesy kind of influences. people tend to like that one too. So, I would give all 4 of them a shot again. But I think, we've got a great producer that we work with now, and, we collaborate. Yeah, we collaborate well with him, and would love to get he's definitely heard the songs, of course, but would love to get his idea on it in terms of re-recording probably.
Yeah. Now, you're located here in Southern California. I see that you hail from Portland. Is that where you grew up?
Yeah, the land of the weird.
That's why we're weird.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know much about Portland aside from anything that was shown on Portlandia. I don't know how close that is.
It's pretty accurate.
Is it?
It's not much of an exaggeration. No. Yeah. It's Portlandia feels like a big inside joke for Portlanders to me. Like
people who are not familiar with it watch it, they're like, this is
weird
what?
and kooky.
It's like, that's Portland.
You have to have visited or have lived there to be like, oh God, that's like traumatizing to watch.
The little nuances, right?
Yeah, it's funny.
So when did you decide to, was it even your choice to move down here to Southern California?
Is it 10 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it technically wasn't our choice. We were a bit younger, so we were still with the parents.
Okay.
So the voyage was made with that. But it wasn't like staying here was more of just a convenience thing because that's where we ended up. It wasn't because of like some Hollywood sort of mindset or anything like that. But we thought about potentially moving around. Like when we went to Nashville to record this upcoming album, we're like, whoa, this is kind of up our alley music wise. But then quarantine hit, and so we're like rethinking future production stuff. But,
yeah. Man, Nashville, that's good times out there. I mean, they have a scene that has not quit for decades out in Nashville.
For sure.
They are they're way ahead of us when it comes to music with all kinds of genres out there, man. And it'd be nice to visit them at some point after this is all over. But, so tell us a little bit about like your bandmates. I know that you've been a duo for the majority of your time in this group, but now you actually have, is it a 4-piece band currently?
4-piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a bassist right now. Her name is Kate. She's great. We were just texting her, actually. We're all keeping tabs on each other in quarantine. We were auditioning a drummer before all this hit, but we have someone, same kind of thing. We're like texting back and forth with her. Hey, we haven't forgotten about you. How are you doing in lockdown? But we're usually a 4-piece.
Right on. So based on your events page on your website, I know that at least if this is accurate, you can let me know if it's not, but the last show that you had was March 6th. Is that right? Or was there one after that?
I think so. I think we did a show like right before lockdown happened or something like that.
It sucks. Like I was supposed to play a show on St. Patrick's Day. And that's when it was really getting crazy. You know, the days leading into St. Patrick's Day, everything was just shutting down. The governor was freaking out. Like the whole thing was happening. And so, ultimately that was canceled and now we're here. Now like what have you been doing to keep busy since those last shows that you've played, aside from just, playing video games?
It's kind of moved virtually. We've done a few live stream shows. There've been a few like behind the scenes things we've been doing. The music video just came out. We've got another single coming out, so we're wrapping that up, and then there's the album. So it's kind of given us time to do behind the scenes fine tuning, lots of contemplating and planning. But
we've been doing some writing and demos of new songs and just kind of shooting some new ideas around and seeing what we come up with in this crazy land. But
and it's though it is nice to have all this time to record and write, one of the dangers is overthinking things. Is that one of the things that when I'm sitting down or thinking of ideas, I know it's like, no, I probably overthought that. Do you find yourself doing that a lot? That's
sure.
nuts. Well, let's go ahead and hear the first song. You guys shared "Weep" with us, and that's the video that just came out. Is there anything in particular that we should know about the song aside from what we already discussed?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I think it kind of speaks for itself.
Pretty straightforward.
Sweet. All right. Well, let's go ahead and play it.
Cool.
me see ya. Dirty woman, spreading myself around. I was impatient, I was too young. Fuck you, yeah. Your religion too, yeah, 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 yeah. For you, I don't weep. For you, I don't cry. You, I say, kiss yourself goodnight, and you may weep. Now you cry, oh babe, I already said I think you know you can't go back and now clover laden heart. Won't get me back, well I must be hard. Goodbye, yeah. You were always high, yeah, 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 yeah. For you I don't weep, for you I don't cry, to you I say, kiss yourself goodnight, and you may weep. Now you cry, oh babe, I already said goodbye. Oh well,
Yeah. That song has a lot of soul, man.
Hell yeah.
Oh, thanks.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank you.
Great way to start my morning.
Oh, nice.
No,
Amazing.
and if everybody liked that, go check out the video. It's it'll put a smile on your face. It's a righteous video. I enjoyed it a lot.
That was the effect we were going for.
So the next song that we wanted to play was Lover. And this one actually came out last year in 2019 as a single. Is this also the same production team that recorded Weep?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Lover and Weep, and then also Messiah are 3 singles off of our upcoming album, and same producer, same studio, all that stuff. Yeah, good times.
And I'm really digging the way that the drums were recorded. If you ask these guys, they'll tell you I'll never shut up about Pearl Jam, but it always reminds me, it reminds me a lot of Vitology, No Code, the type of recording that they recorded in those albums. It really takes me back, but it has a new flavor to it, and your lovely voices. So let's go ahead and check out Lover.
Looking out back, I see the headlights staring at me. The devil sits by my side.
Oh yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh,
That
thank
was
you.
That's good stuff. Were
So
you
good.
channeling your inner Stevie Nicks there on that one?
Oh, I haven't gotten that one with that.
We
Oh,
both
really?
sing on that one, so
Mhm.
I guess it depends on which one you're asking, because slight different energy.
Yeah.
I sing the like verses, the more mellow parts, and she's the one screaming
The chorus.
she's the one chanting the anthem.
Well, I guess
One-
I guess it would be the anthem then, because that's really where I heard it from.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hear that too for sure.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff. And now, I know that a lot of the stuff that, because we've been talking to a lot of bands here on the show, and with this whole quarantine thing, the big thing that people are saying is that a lot of the new music that they're going to be writing will likely not sound like anything they've written before, considering all this time they're having. Is that more or less what you're finding, or are you trying to walk that? Are you trying to stay on track with what you've already developed?
We've definitely been talking about songwriting a lot lately, and I think that it's been a very thoughtful time. We have
Yeah.
nothing but time to think with our thoughts.
Yeah.
And
I felt like we were kind of already in a transition period sonically. It's like I said,
with the album,
yeah, like with the first EP that we did, it, like I said before, it's a little bit of a departure with this new album. So I think we were already kind of in a transition period. Not too drastically, but just it was a new step for us. So I think we were already kind of
I
that
think
way.
just to elaborate on what you're saying, it's more of just kind of honing the sound at
Yeah.
this point and kind of fine tune combing a little
what
bit.
what do we want to be when we grow up?
Yeah, I always make fun of the kid. If you remember, like back in elementary school, there was always a kid who said, "I want to be a dinosaur." It's like, dude, get this kid out of here.
Hey, man, that kid had actual dreams.
You
and
were that kid, weren't you?
aspirations. Hey, you know what? That's an admirable dream, I can say.
Yes, yes.
Dinosaurs are cool. They're cool, man.
They are, man. They are. Don't worry about it.
Sorry. Touchy
Well,
subject.
last but not least, I know that you said that you already recorded this one and it's in the middle of being mastered, but you took the liberty of actually recording this one live from your room, your new song, Messiah. What should we know about this song?
It's one of the older ones. It's about the Lover era, I
Mhm.
think,
Yeah,
right?
ish.
On the upcoming album. Back to the more kind of angry vibes. It's got a bit of a political edge to it. It was around the time when our current president was going into office, so we had some things to say.
You had some thoughts.
Yeah.
Thoughts.
It's going to be good.
I really need to know.
Let's listen to an acoustic version of Messiah. Here we go.
This just in. A genius lost his mind today. He's on the road. He's to rage away.
Good stuff.
Thanks,
Woo.
man.
I can't wait to
Oh,
hear the
yeah.
actual recorded version of that.
Yeah, we're excited.
Is it? Does it get like pretty heavy? Like, is there a lot of distortion?
Yeah.
Mhm. There's
Yeah.
a couple of
Some guitar stuff.
organ, horn.
Specials.
Yeah.
things.
Things.
Yeah,
and-
even the harmonica is kind of distorted, which I personally like. quite a
Yeah,
bit.
it's not.
Distorted harmonica. Whoa.
Wow.
Right.
Hold the phone.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Who's rocking the
Yeah.
harmonica?
Uh-huh.
Which one of you rocks the harmonica? Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
right on. Well, these have been a good collection of songs. Everybody who's digging this, go check out Aelish over on any streaming platform, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And the new video for Weep, and because that's pretty awesome. And go ahead and tell your friends; they're great. Now, when this is all over, and the bummer about this whole situation is that they're saying that a lot of the venues probably won't allow shows to happen until 2021.
Yeah.
Maybe even mid 2021, like fall of 2021. When this
So-
is all over and we're all back to where we need to be, I'd love to share a stage with you all. I mean that's
Likewise,
you know,
love
we can.
that.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Because if last year the Foobar show put together a show in Pomona with a bunch of the bands that have been on the show, and it turned out to be a freaking blast.
Foobar
That's
Fest.
great.
So yeah, we're one of those douchebags that called a small show a fest. So
Hold on. You're one of the douchebags.
I'm one of the douchebags.
The royal we.
Yeah, the royal we.
That's right.
There it
That's
is.
right.
You let me in
I'm
there.
trying to be inclusive, man.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that evil on me.
Well, like we do with all the artists that we have on the show, we give them a chance to stick around for some of the segments that we have on the show. So though we just got done with the music highlights, we wanted to invite them over to start geeking out with us. What do y'all say?
Yeah.
All
Hell yeah.
right, here we go.
Okay, nerds, let's go!
All right,
Every time.
So self-conscious.
Josh, what do you got for us today?
Well, Foo, quarantine's making a lot of shit sucky right now. We haven't been going to the movies. I didn't get to see Black Widow, which was supposed to be
Was that
fucking
supposed
awesome.
to be out? Ugh.
That was supposed to have been out already. We're supposed to have seen Mulan.
Yeah.
The first all
man.
Asian cast of Mulan. Like it's just fucking.
And I
unfortunate.
know I don't bring them up enough, but I was supposed to see Pearl Jam last week
No one cares, Foo.
We do.
at the forum, man. I was supposed to be there.
Every pod. I was supposed to be at Pearl Jam.
Right? Or supposed to be our age. We're all supposed
We're all
to be our
We
age.
are.
against the
man.
machine.
That was a hard one.
See, look what you did. Look what you did. You
Sorry,
fucking ruined it.
brought down the energy. What were you gonna say?
No, the energy's already been brought down thanks to Corona. But
The Rona.
a lot of things have changed since then. A lot of movie releases have changed. There was supposed to be a new Wonder Woman movie coming out in June. Well, that got pushed back to August. The Black Widow was supposed to come out in April, and that got pushed all the way back to November 6th.
Oh, wow.
So
Damn.
we're not going to see that till the end of the year if they open the theaters back up. And it's pushed back to everything from here on. Here on the New Mutants movie, which has had like a release date change every 3 months.
More than
the
they
last
changed their
3
socks,
years.
man. Like they keep pushing it. Wasn't it supposed to come out
I
like a
mean,
year or two ago or something like
It was
that?
supposed to come out in 2017.
Jesus.
And then they said no, it's going to come out in spring of 2018. And then spring of 2018, no, it'll come out in fall of 2018.
Oh my
On
god.
second thoughts, make it spring of 2019.
Why do you
And,
figure that is?
Well, a lot of it had to do with the initial Fox and Disney merger when all that shit was going down. They didn't want to release it during that time because they didn't want to give Disney profits. Because if they had released it at the time, they didn't want Fox to profit from it. Disney wanted to kind of gain most of the profits from it. So it came from a business perspective, the first few, re-airs or re-releases, but ever since, now that the coronavirus thing came around, they're just not even, they may not release it till next year. Honestly, they should just release it in digital at this point, because we ain't going anywhere. We ain't gonna go out and see it anytime
They're gonna
soon.
push it off so much that if they decide to do a sequel on this, it'll have to be a significant time jump because the actors will be old and gray.
The only way they can feasibly get out of it or like kind of pull it off is if they have the new X-Men come out like sometime after this New Mutants come out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for X-Men forever.
I mean, fuck, we'll be waiting for New Mutants just as long, apparently. I mean, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
So I'm not too familiar with the New Mutants, Josh and Steph. What can you tell me about these New Mutants? Like, what's the timeline here? When did they actually get introduced in the actual
they're
comics?
new.
Okay, thanks.
No. Really? It's been around for ages. Get your head out of your ass, Steph.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you know about them? What can you tell me? I don't know shit about them.
F?
Huh? No, I don't know anything about the Mutants.
You're new. That's all you need to know.
Is that okay?
No, is it on me? No.
Like the new Avengers, pretty much.
Sure. I don't know enough about New Mutants.
I'm
only original X-Men.
From what I understand, the movie was supposed to be about, it's supposed to be like the first horror X-Men movie. It's supposed to be about a bunch of kids that are being held in like an insane asylum, and they're getting tested on by this corporation. But the corporation's telling them they're trying to test like ways to cure their mutant abilities, when in fact they're just trying to enhance them and do crazy ass experiments. So
like for the military and stuff.
They're not sure. We're not sure what. I mean, there's in the fucking Marvel universe, there's like so many goddamn secret organizations. I mean, you could just throw a dart in any direction. I'm sure you're gonna hit one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's really what's going. That's what it is. It's supposed to be some secret organization. The trailer I saw looked pretty crazy because it looked like the horror scenes that they show on it look pretty intense, but that's as far as we're gonna get. It's just the trailer.
It sounds awfully a lot like the show that you used to watch, Steph. What was it? X-Men related?
Legion. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Love Legion. It was so trippy. Just the way like they filmed it with all the colors, and it just gets sucked in and things are out of order.
I was having a bad trip, and I didn't even have shrooms.
Dude,
the visuals! I was just like, "What the fuck is happening?"
The visuals in that show are insane.
It's a very
Dude,
Alice in Wonderland type of show.
I
Everything's
needed
on
to smoke
Hulu
a
now.
bowl to get back to reality. To see what I was like, wow! Like I still haven't even seen a full season because every time I get to like one or two, like when I think what's the weird fat guy, the Shadow King or whatever,
Yeah.
the one that like. Every time I see scenes with him, I'm just like, what the fuck is happening?
Because the majority of this takes place in the guy's brain, right? Who's supposed to be like have psychic abilities and that kind of thing.
So it takes place with David. He is being possessed by like this Shadow King, but he thinks that he has some kind of like psychiatric split. And so they later dive into like all the mutants and everything and realize that it's not a psychiatric split. It's more like somebody's taken over his mind. And just the way they dive deep into the mutant storyline is so trippy, and you just get sucked into the cinematography of everything with all the colors, and it's just, like I said, very Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole situation.
Yeah.
I would like a little warning, at least, a little disclaimer,
right?
That you may have a bad trip if you watch the rest of this episode. Please avert your eyes.
Have to recover. A trigger warning.
Yeah, trigger warning.
Yeah.
Make sure all doors are locked. Do not
man.
go outside of your house when watching this episode.
Oh, then you'll love the last season for sure. Like that is the trippiest season ever.
All right,
Jermaine Clement is in there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, anything with Jermaine is great.
He sings.
Of course he does.
Jermaine,
It's Jermaine.
Jermaine Clement.
He finds any reason to sing.
Oh my God, this is the best. Did you guys watch Flight of the Conchords?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
hell
Loved
yeah.
it.
The best.
Yeah.
Oh
That,
man.
that was my favorite show growing up. It's the whole reason why, as a kid in high school, I used to love having HBO because I would be the only kid in my high school that knew about the Flight of the Conchords.
Or even before that, and that was probably when YouTube was fairly young as a company.
Yeah.
You had all these crazy things happening on YouTube, and then you had Flight of the Conchords with their two acoustics, and they put on that show, and they were singing all the songs like Business Time and stuff, and
The best.
Yeah.
The humans are dead.
yeah.
Bring that one back.
Yeah, and then
That
they made a
was-
show about this song. They found a way to incorporate all these songs, and it couldn't be happier.
My favorite episode in Flight of the in the HBO show was the David Bowie episode.
Oh
where
yeah.
they were each different part. There was the Ziggy Stardust David Bowie. There was it was great. I like that. I love that particular episode
With his
for
nipple
sure.
antennae.
Oh yeah. Well, anyway, going back to the movie releases.
Oh yeah.
A lot more have moved back. The Batman movie that was supposed to come out with Robert Pattinson, Battinson, I should say. Yeah, hurt me. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna see myself out after that one. It's supposed to come out now in October of next year, 2021. So is the Spider-Man sequel, the Doctor Strange movie now, which is actually, this is something big. Marvel will now have 5 movies releasing in 1 year in 2022.
Jeez.
So they're going to have Thor, Love and Thunder, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness right after. Black Panther will come out May 6th of that year. And then they're going to have the Captain Marvel movie. And then the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie is going to be coming out right after that on October 7th.
Don't these have to release in order? In like a certain order for it to make sense?
I'm sure they will. It's just throughout
Well,
the span of a
that's
year.
how they're releasing them. That order I just gave you, that's the order they're being released. I'm sure they have to be watched in a certain order.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Well, then why don't you say that?
You know what?
You know what, Steph? I need to get you at the source because we're having real issues with
Look, I like what you said, but I like the way I said it better.
Okay.
You guys fight like us.
Yeah.
Sibling.
Oh, God, that's what happens when you live with these assholes for fucking 3 years. Oh God, it never ends. I would have thought it did after I moved out.
Nope.
But nah, not
Nope.
at all. Just got worse.
You love it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, so obviously we're not going to the movies anytime soon, but as long as this whole COVID thing's going on, I would expect movie dates to keep changing. I mean, this isn't even concrete. Like, they'll probably change. I'll probably say another fucking round of dates in a week or two. I mean, if we're still in this bullshit.
Yeah.
So, in other news besides, the movie dates and stuff, AMC Theaters actually announced that they probably won't reopen until July.
Of this year?
Don't expect of this year.
No.
Yeah, don't expect any movie theaters to be opening until at least July, maybe even August, depending on how the quarantine situation goes.
And the way that movie theaters have been evolving, at least within the last couple of years, with them doing assigned seating and that kind of thing, it would make it a lot easier for them to do the social distancing from there on out. Now, I wouldn't want to be reclined and have somebody coughing up a storm behind me, but I'm sure they'll probably have to stagger them out.
Look, here's the solution.
Uh-huh.
Instead of handing out those cheap, shitty 3D glasses, just hand out a face mask to everybody. Boom. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
It could be useful.
Thanks, Josh.
Take that to the bank.
More you know. Steph, did you have anything for us today?
Oh, yeah. There is some probably good, maybe interesting news.
Okay. I would hope
Lie
so.
to me, Steph.
Our friends over at Legion M are going to host a virtual pop expo.
Oh, nice.
So you can enjoy the con from the comfort of your own home.
Which con? Just general con?
Just a general con. It's May 9 through 10, so it's a 2-day event. And the virtual pop expo promises to be an integrated fan experience. So they're going to try to have panels, Q&A, celebrity appearances,
Nice.
and also let's see, a cosplay contest, a happy hour, online happy hour, virtual room, and interactive gaming room. So everything's going to be virtual. There's not much other information.
Is the online happy hour 24 hours? You know,
it is at my house.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be on the weekend, so I'm pretty sure you'll be okay with the 24 hours. There's not much information as far as what time it's going to start. More information will be coming soon, but those are our friends over at Legion M are partnering up with Nerdbot and Kaleido and some other virtual expo vendors. So look forward to that. You can visit them at legionm.com.
Yeah, this whole thing, it could be a lot worse if we didn't have the internet, man. Just connecting us like this together. Otherwise, people would go insane.
Yeah.
You were never outside as a child, were you?
No. I grew up an only child. I've been training for this my entire life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
With my Super NES, I beat the Ninja Turtles game probably like 15 times as a kid.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Did they give you a medal for that? Yeah.
No, they didn't.
He pat himself on the back.
Your parents said, "Who gives a shit?"
Yeah. Well, they didn't hit me, but
well, too real. Sorry.
And now, before we came onto the podcast, I was asking you girls if if you were into any of this. You said you recently took down a poster of Attack on Titan. Have you actually read all the mangas?
She read most of it.
I think I stopped. There was like the recent arc that happened, and I kind of tapered off. But I saw the poster. I was like, God, I gotta catch up.
I can't wait for the new season.
Though. Yeah. And would you say?
Yeah,
I can't wait for the new season to come out.
Yes, anxiously.
Yeah, shit's gonna get even crazier in the new season for sure. I'm caught up on the manga.
Right.
I just love how like ridiculously gory it is, and like I don't know about you guys, but I'm one of those people that when things get really gory and violent, I start to laugh at it. I don't know the mechanism, but somebody gets decapitated with like spurting blood. I'm just like, it's just
that's us.
Yeah, I'm not alone.
Don't worry, you're not the only psychopath in this.
Yeah, okay, good.
Right? So we're all kin here.
A very long time ago, I won tickets to the premiere of Final Destination 3 from K-Rock. And what they did is that I went to the Chinese theater in Hollywood, and they premiered. You had to stay and watch the first two, and then they premiered the third one. So you can imagine how long I was in that movie theater with a bunch of other like K-Rock fans. And every time somebody died, at a certain point, like throughout, I think it was halfway through the first movie of just deaths, it got so ridiculous that it became a comedy. Where we just started laughing our asses off of how ridiculous, the ways that they found people would die. And I'm right there with you on that.
Yeah.
Have you guys played the new Resident Evil? I think it's just a demo right now.
Resident Evil 3?
Yeah.
I have not played it.
I
heard good things.
Either, but it looks so cool, though.
Yeah, I hear good things.
Well, they're gonna remake Resident Evil 4, aren't they?
Yeah.
Or 5.
There
was one that came out. I think it's just the demo that's out right now. And
okay.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, Steph's been all about the Final Fantasy
7. It got re-released for PlayStation 4, so I downloaded it. But I'm like taking my time because I want to savor it. I played the original on PlayStation 1
many years ago.
Oh my god! And just seeing it remastered, I almost cried during the opening credits.
She did.
Not gonna lie,
it was a little sad.
Just
that's so true.
Memories, all the nostalgia just flooding back.
Yes, yeah.
Sure. See, I wouldn't have taken my time, Rivera. I would have blown through playing that game like the first weekend I got it. Just get some Red Bull.
Knowing you,
a couple of dabs. There you go. Boom.
Yeah.
Let the night go where it may.
Savoring it.
And
game over in like 12 hours.
Going back to Attack on Titan, I've not watched a show where it had so much screaming and crying and zero laughter and comedy.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
They're always screaming at something.
Devastating.
They're always getting fucked with. That's why.
Yeah. First episode I watched, the Foo, our missing partner for the day. He actually introduced it to me. He's like, "Bro, you gotta watch this." I'm all, "What is it about?" "Don't. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm just gonna put it
There's
on
no way to
and you
explain it
watch
where it sounds appealing to somebody who has
No,
no idea
and
what's going on.
And at the time, like the only anime I was watching was like Sword Art Online and Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
and stuff. So it's mostly all like
classics. Yeah.
classic funny stuff. As soon as this happened, the first scene where the fucking colossal titans over the mountain, I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now?
She was a big fan
Yeah.
of she'd watched like the first season or two of Attack on Titan, and she'd, read the manga. And this was before I was even into anime, and she was telling me all about it. And she's like, "I feel like you would like this," but she was a little like, I don't know, kind of on the down low about it. Like, you might think it's weird. And I had the same reaction. I was like,
Was that
watching
like the
it.
first anime that you got?
I think it was the first anime I ever watched, which is hilarious
It's like
because
the
I was
first
like,
thing.
That's not a
what
bad
is
one to be
going
introduced
on?
to.
But I love it. Like, I can't look away. It's just disgusting.
Yeah, you definitely.
No, it is.
You learn early on not to get attached to anybody.
No, yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
It's Game of
It's
Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones conditioned you to watch this show because this show just
Yep.
it's Game of Thrones times a million. Like, you can meet a character and get hooked on them for one episode, boom, that same episode they fucking die.
Oh.
It's like, wow. Yeah, I mean, but I understand your hesitation in telling her about this show because, I mean, when you tell people that have never seen anything like what this show's about, like, obviously they're gonna think you're a fucking psychopath. I mean,
Right.
I've gotten that look several
Compare it to
times.
another one. You're not like, well, it's a bit of, Death Note meets, Full
Yeah.
Metal or something. It's like,
Like
no.
Dragon Ball Z, but people actually die graphically. People are getting eaten. Wait, what?
Yeah.
it's-
No one announces their moves. You're just dead.
You're just dead. Yeah. You'll just be talking, boom, head chopped off. What?
Yeah. I think, Joe, as a Pearl Jam fan, you'll like this story. But one thing I always think of when I think of Attack on Titan is we were driving, I think, to our lockout. We were about to go to rehearsal. And we were bored. Like, we were at that kind of music plateau stage. Like, we need new music. And so we're like, let's play like this game where we think of our favorite TV show we're watching right now, which was Attack on Titan. And we assign, like, whoever is DJing in the car assigns like a theme song to each like significant character. And we got to Irwin, and I assigned "Alive" by Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
And it was like, thankfully she knew like the image I was going for in my head, where he like is like totally armless and like just like charging.
Yeah.
Whoa, yeah.
And then boom, dead.
Yeah.
And
That's always what I think of.
That's the best. That's the best song for him. That's perfect. That's perfect song.
Yeah.
What other types of anime or manga do you guys watch besides Attack on Titan?
I wanted to get into, I just blanked on the name. Oh, My Hero. I wanted to get into that one. My Hero Academia. I was hearing a lot of really good things about it. But it's like one of those things that's like really popular right now, and I still haven't started it. But
yeah,
it's definitely good.
Yeah, it's a good.
We liked Tokyo Ghoul.
Tokyo Ghoul is cool.
I don't know if you guys watched that one. For me personally, I think it was the third season. It started to kind of change plot with kind of the main characters, and I kind of started to lose it a little bit. But the first two seasons are really, really good.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Well, me personally, I do watch My Hero Academia, and I'm actually reading the manga, which is like way ahead of where the show's at, and it's so much better.
Usually.
Like, it is definitely something I recommend. You guys, if you guys can watch it on Hulu, I think it's on Hulu. My Hero, so you guys can watch most up to I think it's current right now as far as all the episodes, so you can catch up fairly quickly. You got plenty of time.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of like kind of lighthearted ones to pass the time, like Hunter x Hunter and One Piece, to just like have on.
One Piece is another one of my favorites. I'm caught up on that, like on both the manga and the show, and God, it's fucking fantastic. It's hilarious too.
Just making up your own gum whatever you're doing, like if you're making lunch, you're like gum can opener.
Yeah. I mean, I watched One Piece too. I watch Dragon Ball Z, Naruto. I just finished watching Naruto Shippuden and the first Naruto, which I mean, there's so much fucking filler. Like
There is, yeah.
there's just so much. But I found a cheaty way to get past all that. Online, there's a list of the filler episodes I can kind of skip and just watch the manga.
Oh,
episode.
wow.
Oh, I'll have to check that out. Because I was in
Yeah,
the same thing. I was like watching. I'm like, okay, getting bored here. Yeah.
Am I really gonna make it through this? Like, there's just some episodes where you're just like, do I really care? I want to see some fucking fighting here. Let's move it along.
It's like a Dragon Ball Z. In Dragon Ball Z, when they're doing a big fight, and then like it's all monologuing, and then next time on Dragon Ball Z, like 5 episodes later, they're finally getting through the freaking fight.
15 minutes of power up.
They're
Goku
moving
screaming.
so fast, time slows down.
Now, Josh,
Mind blown, bro.
earlier in this week, you sent us a link about them possibly making a live action One Punch Man also.
Oh yeah, that's right. They are.
And-
Sony Pictures actually bought the rights to make a One Punch Man movie. And I don't know if you guys have seen One Punch Man or have heard about it. It's to the same effect of like when you're trying to describe Attack on Titan to somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, wait, what's One Punch Man? It's about a guy that's so strong. He's like a wimpy superhero, but he's the strongest superhero. You're like,
Yeah.
what?
I love it.
I showed these guys a couple episodes, and they're just like, wait, hold on. Hold the phone. You mean to tell me this guy was so fucking overpowered? We just wasted all this time seeing this epic ass fight, and it took one damn punch to end it all.
You know, I had to approach it. When I started watching this, I was just like, "What the hell is this?" Like, this guy is like, this guy's monologuing the entire episode, and then all this guy has to do is just punch him once, and he's done.
Yeah.
When I started to approach viewing this show as a comedy, then it became awesome.
Yes.
Different point of view.
Yeah.
You have to, especially when you look at the Saitama character. Like, he's just so bored because he's so strong.
It's so easy.
Yeah, it's so easy to see the comedy in it. It's like this dude worked out so hard he went bald. And now he's getting no respect as a superhero because they all don't believe that he's real. Like, nah, no way. He's a weakling. He's bald. How can we take a bald guy seriously? Like, it's hilarious. And if you guys, it's on Hulu too. If you guys want to watch that, as well.
I think I've only seen like the first couple of episodes of it, but I thought it was hilarious.
It gets funnier like as it goes on. Like at the very last episode of the first season, he goes up against this like colossal, like almost like this being that's supposed to destroy the planet, and it's an epic ass fight. But like you could tell Saitama was like barely doing anything, and then finally, like at the final move, he's like, "Okay, that's it. One serious punch," and just punch. All of a sudden, you see the stars, like the galaxy just blew up.
Oh man!
Yeah, it's so epically funny and it's so off the wall. But I can't wait to see what they do with the live action movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if they get an all Asian cast, like that'd be fucking.
If they do it right, yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike
I'm everyone.
Have you guys seen Kung Fu Hustle?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
No,
Did we?
I don't think we did.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, I recommend you watch that because I feel like they can get, if they direct this movie similar to how they did Kung Fu Hustle, I think they can really grasp the whole like ultimate fighting thing, but the comedy side of it as well.
Yeah.
Like I think that would totally, that style would match.
Kung Fu Hustle and Shaolin Soccer.
Yes.
Are awesome movies.
I was just talking. I have a friend who's a big Kung Fu Hustle fan, and so I'm like, it's so funny you mentioned that. Now I'm like, I gotta watch it now. It's like the second person in a week that's been talking about it.
That's definitely a movie to put on. Like it's not gonna win. It didn't win any Oscars or anything, but it's like it's one of those cult classic movies.
Yeah,
that you have to watch, especially if you're a fan of like Kung Fu, movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, we just saw Ip Man the other day.
Ip Man
was in that's awesome. I love all the fighting scenes in it. It's great.
So good.
Yeah.
I think I watched
Donnie
it like back to back. It's epic.
Yeah. No,
it's so fantastic. You get hooked when you just watch one. You can't just stop at one. You got to watch them all.
And we've been talking about this other movie that I think you will enjoy called The Raid. I don't know if you're familiar with it. But it's Steph and I were watching The Raid. Josh came in halfway through us watching it and just he couldn't look away because it's just fighting scenes. So it's about this team of policemen who go into this apartment complex, and inside this apartment complex, well, the whole complex is ruled by like a drug lord, and he pretty much just they go through the levels of the apartment complex to get to the final boss, pretty much.
Oh man.
And it's pretty epic too. And I understand there's a sequel now, so now I gotta watch that.
Oh,
But
The Raid.
yeah, so check out The Raid. Write that down. You will enjoy it thoroughly. It's great.
Oh,
The Raid Redemption. That's what it's it's like The Raid: Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
That's the full name of the movie.
Oh yeah, The Raid Redemption. Cool.
Did you guys did you ever see Ergo Proxy?
No.
That one's like not all that that one's a little
It's
more niche,
great.
but that one's really good.
And we're both strictly like, subtitles people, but like this is the only one that I've seen that like the dubs were actually okay.
They're really good.
They're
Yeah.
actually pretty good.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I enjoyed Attack on Titan more when it was in Japanese and subtitled rather than the English dub.
Yeah, for
The
sure.
English ones are terrible.
I mean, sometimes they get like the worst English actors to voice these characters. Like the guy that voices Aaron in the dub, like just bothers me. I can't it doesn't match. It doesn't.
It's Hanji as well, because like Hanji, like she's supposed to be kind of elusive and like kind of masculine and like non-binary, and in the Japanese they nail that, and then in the dub it's just like confusing. Like what?
Yeah.
No.
I feel like there's a certain style of acting for anime that kind of falls flat if you don't do it right when you're speaking English, and it's just like
especially in a show that screams a lot.
Yeah.
You kind of need that. There's a special breed of cat for that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's very few animes out there that the dubs are better or match, what the subs do. Like DBZ, like Dragon Ball, the sub and dub, like more of the dub actors than you do the sub actors, because the dub actors are pretty, they're famous. John Schammel, he voices Goku. Like you could tell his voice in any lineup because you automatically think Goku when you hear him.
Right. There's always like some dub actors is like, okay, I hate everybody else, but it's like I like your voice,
Yeah, for me it's Christopher Sabat. He plays the voice of Vegeta in One Piece, Roronoa Zoro. In My Hero, he plays All Might. He's been in so many. Have you guys seen Full Metal Alchemist?
Yeah.
He plays Sergeant Armstrong.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
He's the voice of Armstrong, and it's cool when you can get those voice actors in different genre, in different animes, and you can just pinpoint like that voice actor. And like, hey,
really anyone from Critical Role, like I will listen to their voice. Like that's anyone from that.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, exactly. So I have a couple last things I wanted to bring up with you guys. So are you guys fans of DC or Marvel specifically?
Good question.
It really depends. Like I'm a huge Batman fan, so I'd have to go with like DC in that. I don't know. I'd probably go with DC.
Okay. I mean, there's no wrong answer.
I'm not anti Marvel. It could be a little bit more slapstick sometimes, but
I feel like I've always kind of liked the almost kind of darker side of DC, like Batman as well. But at the same time, I feel like Marvel recently, they've kind of owned up to their ridiculousness in a way. And like, especially with like, Thor and Guardians of the Galaxy, like they kind of like, we're filled with a bunch of stupid one-liners and we're just going to go with it.
We do it really well.
I don't know. I guess I might have to go with Marvel. They're both good, man.
Civil War.
Yeah.
English style.
Yeah.
and honestly, there's no wrong answer because you are right, Rowan, that DC's darker. That they focused more on the dark side and like the humanistic side of the godlike heroes, which almost every DC character is like a godlike hero.
Yeah.
Flash is like Hermes. and what's it called? What's his face? Superman's like fucking Zeus. He's the
Yeah.
ultimate god.
Yeah.
You know, so it's easy to kind of see.
Who would
You know, you
Batman
can see
be?
the differences. What's that?
Who would Batman be? He's human. Would it be like Hercules? or
Batman's
something?
no, Batman's Hades.
Oh,
Hades.
he's
the
Hades.
bad-
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
Hades. He's the guy that's just in the muck. You know, no one really wants to talk to him, and a little intimidated and scared when you kind of in the same room as him.
But
you
all
know.
he does is speak the truth too, and that bothers people.
Yeah, like what I like in the animated movies that they do for DC is like they always just have Batman sitting there, and like when someone is finally like one-on-one, like I think Barry Allen, like in one of the animated movies, his first time seeing Batman and like being next to him, and I think someone nudged him like, "You talk." No, you talk to him. No, you do it." It's just like, and then they see that he's just a sadistic, serious dude all the time. It's hilarious.
Who on his
Yeah,
off
so-
time can play a really upbeat playboy to hide his identity. You know?
Yeah, that's that shift that I love. But you know, going on DC, you know, there is news that there. I don't know if you guys heard that there's going to be a Green Lantern series on HBO Max, on the new HBO Max streaming service. There's also going to be a Justice League Dark series on there as well. So for the Green Lantern series, it's supposed to be called Green Lantern Corps. And rather than just focus on one particular Green Lantern, they're planning on focusing on the entire core of the Green Lanterns, and particularly 4 Earth Green Lanterns that they're going to be introducing in this series. One that a lot of people have been really excited about is Jon Stewart, you know, the Black Green Lantern from the Justice League animated show in the 90s. I don't know if you guys saw Justice League Unlimited and Justice League. Oh man, yeah, I recommend you guys watch that if you can.
Wasn't the guy who voices him in the most recent Flash live action Flash shows, or is that a completely different guy? Oh, I'm thinking of the Martian Manhunter.
Marvin the Martian?
Yeah, Martian.
Marvin the Martian? I don't think Marvin
Martian
the Martian's
Manhunter.
in DC, buddy.
Yeah, just let's go ahead and ignore that whole part.
No,
Continue.
I'm totally it's imprinted in here, buddy. Right here.
Uh-huh.
No, so
Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart
Daily Show.
was voiced by Phil Lamar from Mad TV.
Yes.
Who, if you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the UBS guy.
Yes,
on Mad TV.
yes, he was he was Marvin in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the guy that got his head blown off in the back of the car. So the Green Lantern Corps, what it's comprised of is Hal Jordan, the first Green Lantern, Jon Stewart, ex-Marine, Guy Gardner, who's supposed to be just some brawler guy that becomes somewhat righteous. I don't know. I never really liked Guy Gardner. And then Kyle Rayner, who is actually a cartoonist. He's a comic book writer and artist, and he ends up becoming a Green Lantern because of his creativity and being able to construct weird things out of light. So
You know, Kyle Rayner is my favorite Green Lantern.
Of course it would be.
Of course.
Of course.
Because he's voiced by Nathan Fillion.
Ah, Nathan Fillion.
So Nathan Fillion should just, reprise that role live action. He'd make a
I
great kind of
don't think Nathan Fillion's in shape enough to do Kyle Rayner's
Yeah,
line.
he is.
Have you seen him in The Rookie, man? He's still not in shape.
Whatever, dude. They can
Green
CGI everything.
Just change all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's true. That's true.
Nathan Fillion's a good actor. I think he could pull it off.
Yeah,
I think he would.
He's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Did you guys play Uncharted?
No.
No, I did not know.
He was the voice of Nathan Drake.
He wasn't, but people were like, he should play.
Oh, that's
live
right.
action.
Yeah.
People were like,
he looks a lot like the main character in Uncharted.
Mhm.
I think they're making live action of it. They've
Are
already
they?
cast a couple people.
Yeah,
they
Tom
were
Holland
talking
is
about
actually.
casting.
Yeah, Tom
And-
Holland is playing Nathan Drake in the movie.
Yeah, the young
Tom Holland?
He's
Yeah.
doing a
Yeah.
young Nathan. I know. At
Oh,
first,
a
I
young-
was like, "What?" But
Is
then
it like a
it's-
younger iteration?
It's
or
the
something?
younger
Okay, that makes
iteration.
sense.
I
Yeah.
was like, okay.
But now that's
Yeah.
been put on hold.
Drake is much older than. Yeah.
Yeah. That production's been put on
Yeah.
hold from my understanding, so he probably won't look so young when this is all back up and running.
Yeah,
He'll
that's
look just
true.
perfect
Yeah.
for the part.
Yeah.
He's a good actor though.
Mm-hmm.
He is. But going back to Green Lantern, sorry, they're actually eyeing one particular actor to play Jon Stewart. Now, a lot of people over the years have been like pushing or petitioning for Tyrese Gibson to play Jon Stewart, which please don't, please God, just don't. But Warner Brothers is actually looking for Michael B. Jordan to play Jon Stewart, Green Lantern, which I would not be opposed to.
Michael B. Jordan has range, dude.
He does, yeah.
The guy's, he's awesome.
I can see him
What's
playing.
that one? What's that one movie I had you guys watch? Fruitvale Station. Have you guys seen that yet?
No, that sounds familiar though.
Yeah, it's a movie starring Michael B. Jordan. It's a drama, but it's about a kid that grew up in Oakland, and one night he goes to San Francisco for New Year's Eve with his baby mama, and then on their way home, he gets into it with the police, and he wasn't doing anything, but the police accidentally, kill him. And it's like a widely popular, not widely popular, I would say, but it was a big news story a few years back.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be about this guy and who he was, and he was like picking up his life and stuff. So Michael B. Jordan did a great job.
Yeah.
In
Saw
that
me
movie.
Just Mercy. Do you guys see that?
No, I've been wanting to watch that.
It was
though.
good. Yeah, he was
It
great.
is?
You watched that without me.
I did. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh. The rift
really wanted to see
continues.
it.
Opening old wounds.
She also watched Harriet without me. I'm still pissed about that one.
Oh, damn.
I've yet to watch
You guys
that
are going to
one.
have some words after this.
Betrayal. It'll have to come out in song.
Et tu, Brute?
Yes.
A2 Rowan.
Yeah.
Et tu, Rowan?
I think it'd be the other way
It'd be
around.
the other way
so-
around. But
Yeah, it would be actually. So, that's pretty much it for the movie news, guys. I'll bring up some more in the next podcast, but let's just try and distract ourselves. Just watch what we can, catch up on anime, binge watch anime, because they're long as fuck, so you got plenty of time to do that.
Yeah, we have a lot in our queue. Steph and I have been trying to finish up, or at least catch up with Better Call Saul.
Oh man,
So
every episode is so good.
It's really good. It really brings you back to the how you felt when you were watching Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
It's good
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
Yeah, it's great.
You
Well,
know
I
what? I've still yet to see a single episode of Breaking.
Better Call
Saul.
Saul. I get that too. That hesitation of checking it out. It's not going to be as good as Breaking Bad. I'm here to say it kind of is. It's pretty good.
Right?
It's pretty freaking good.
It's
Don't you
good.
dare build my expectations.
I'm not
sir.
building shit, dude. I will be straight with you on this, and because I loved Breaking Bad, one of the best shows in the history of television.
Yeah.
And
I will come at you like a spider monkey if you're wrong, sir.
No, it's great. I think you would love it. If anybody, you would love. Also because there's more humor in it. Seeing that it's what's his name,
Bob Odenkirk.
Bob Odenkirk, and he came up with Mr. Show with David Cross and all that. So there's more humor in it coming from his perspective. So it's well written stuff too. Yeah.
Right on. Are you Aelish? Are you guys looking into or looking forward to any shows that you guys are going to have on your queue or anything?
Yeah, I've heard different recommendations being thrown around, so I'm trying to make a list and keep track of them because
Did you start watching the Mrs. America?
Yeah, that's a new. It might be it's not HBO. FX. Yeah. That's really good. There's only 4 episodes, but that's definitely worthwhile. It's a big star cast. Like there's Rose Byrne and
Kate Blanchett, right? I think.
Yeah, a bunch of big names in there, and they're all fantastic actors. So yeah, Rose Byrne, like with the whole Gloria Steinem look, like it's uncanny. That's really good. I've been honestly watching a lot of like comedy stuff right now because I just need like that kind of distraction.
Joy.
Yeah.
You just need some joy in your life.
Yeah, I literally binge watched the entire series of Parks and Rec and like yeah, it's like the best show ever. I'm going back to New Girl. I watched like the first 2 seasons of New Girl, but
good.
that's what I've been doing too, just like rewatching. Yeah. So
if I could recommend watching Community, it's on Netflix now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on Netflix. That's
Yes.
awesome.
I've heard good stuff about that one too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, Josie and Steph over here could tell you
Mhm.
that I used to play that series from start to finish in like a week, and I would keep going back to it like every other week.
doing
'cause
it,
It's,
yeah.
It's great.
just
It's
so
great
great.
writing. Yeah, Dan Harmon's he's amazing, and now he's doing Rick and Morty. So yeah.
We
Yeah.
recently finished Castlevania on Netflix.
Oh, I've been wanting to get to watching that.
Oh yeah, the
It's
art-
dark. It's dark.
Yeah, but there's some funny moments in it too. But the artwork is mainly like the main thing. It's insane.
Mhm.
It's beautiful.
Nice.
Have to
Yeah.
catch on that as well.
All right.
Right
Well,
on.
I think we got our lists of stuff we need to catch up on.
We did it.
Is that going to do it for Geeking Out there, guys?
I think we geeked out enough.
We're geeks.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, once again, Aelish, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for responding to my original message. Most people
Absolutely,
don't.
our pleasure. Let's stay in touch, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll keep in touch throughout this whole thing. Anything you guys put out, I will keep adding to my playlist and sharing it with others. You got me in your corner, and damn, if I'm not, I'm excited to maybe one day sharing a stage with you all because
Absolutely,
man.
you're a bundle of talent. So
Thanks.
yeah, man. Josh, Steph, thanks for being on the show again. Once again.
You're most welcome.
Cool.
Fake modesty at its finest.
All
Nice to
right.
meet all
Well,
of you virtually.
right
Yeah,
on.
nice to meet all you guys too.
Nice to meet
And
you.
stay
Great
safe.
music. Great music. I loved it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all very much for listening into the Foobar Show. Thanks for hitting subscribe, and remember to rate, review, and tell your friends like a champ. You can always reach us at Foobar Show. That's FTheBelowBarShow.com. And F the Below Bar Show is our handle on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram. Drop us a line and we'll fill it up like a couple of foos. I've been Josie.
I've been Josh.
And Steph.
And for Rowan and Synden of Aelish signing off saying, don't be a dick!